Kathy, we are going to come and ask you to sit maybe in this chair over here so that we can talk about you. Exactly. I'm first of all going to call on Mr. Eric Morris. Eric, come on. And Eric's going to go and speak from that. You can come up these steps if you want. There you go. Excellent. I know that was a little challenging right there. Eric, is this crown for me?
Apparently not.
By Prince Eric. We know Kathy as the choir queen. Her talents has always been keen in singing and playing and leading at the Faith Presbyterian Church scene. She leads us in Christmas cantatas, teaches of crescendos and fermatas at Wednesday gathering in choir room and lately on Zoom. We breathe and drop R's in our sonatas. But no matter where the choir did sing, our music would glorious ring, wherever from choir loft or TV screen, because we were led by our beautiful choir queen. Thank you, Kathy Carwell-Wills, and we love you.
Eric, why don't you come and sit in this chair here?
That's
and
appropriate.
Not letting you away right there. And you need to send that to the newsletter for tomorrow. We'll put that poem in the newsletter. Wasn't that beautiful? From where we are today, after all we have achieved and done in the last 6 years, and after a bruising 16 months, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Kathy Cardwell, as she was then, was appointed as Faith's Director of Music at the start of July 2015. Kathy had been a member and participant in one of my previous churches. She sang in the choir at Northminster. She knew something about me, and yet she was still willing, almost even excited, to come and join the Faith team. A lot has happened in these 6 years. The choir grew in number and in their contribution to our life and worship as a church. The pandemic has challenged all of this, but there can be no doubt that it is Kathy's leadership that enabled us to go through that growth and development. Think about it, 6 years of hymns played and sung in the last 16 months, played and sung from your own home, from a friend's office, remember, for Easter last year, from the classroom, outdoors at the drive-in events and services and the dedication for the sanctuary, and then here in the sanctuary behind these dividers. 6 years in which Faith grew into its idea of a church building and the move in challenging times from Mountain Street to Bluebird Road. And Eric is right, amongst the highlights all of those years were Christmas cantatas. 6 years. Remember them? 2015, a Noel celebration. 2016, the silence and the sound. 2017, Night of the Father's Love. 2018, The Glory of Christmas. 2019, And There Was Light. And then in 2020, in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, we had our Candrama. Stand up if you were in that as a character, as a person. All right, stand up. There you go. All right, Bob. Nobody else? You know, all these folks filmed themselves in different places along with the baby goats. And Mary and Joseph, we all did it safely. And we put it on there, and it was flawless. It was flawless, Kathy. It was flawless, trust me. Just like all my sermons are flawless. It was flawless like that. Agreed? It was an amazing thing. The message of Christmas, piercing the COVID gloom. Thanks be to God. And then there was, of course, also Harold. That quiet, shy, retiring, back row person in the choir. And we all rejoice that your love bloomed and that you were married just a month before the world was turned on its head. And you were able to face that whole challenge as husband and wife. This is the history lesson now. The first reference I can find in our faith worship bulletins of 2020 to a virtual choir or ensemble was on Sunday, May the 3rd, 2020. It says in the bulletin that day there was a virtual quartet of Kathy and Harold and our good friends Bruce and Linda Graham singing appropriately, Lord of all hopefulness. And the video director, give it up for Jim Crawford. Then on May 24th that year, the first virtual ensemble was shared with the Faith congregation. It doesn't say who was in it, but again, it was a very appropriate song, Precious Lord, Take My Hand. And then on June 7th, 2020, the Faith virtual choir and friends shared, This is my Father's world. And we've been all amazed ever since at what our choir members have done. So if you did it once, if you did it 59 times, doesn't matter, would you please stand if you made a recording at some point during these last 16 months for the virtual choir, virtual ensemble, virtual solo. Let's thank these folks too. Kathy, your gift of music and music leadership has sustained and inspired this church, your church family, over all your 6 years in the director's position, and all the more so during these past 16 months. The countless hours spent planning, encouraging, practicing, playing, recording, re-recording, re-recording, and in all the details, we so thank you. We thank Harold for all your volunteer singing over all these many months, and we thank you, Kathy, for your ministry and witness and significant contribution to the life of our church. The first anthem you directed with the Faith Choir was on Sunday, July the 5th, 2015. It's titled Communion Meditation by Althouse. Some of the words from the anthem, they say a lot about who you are and what you have been with us and for us. Life unending, love descending, in his mercy we ever stand. Sing his glory, wondrous story, we receive him with bread and wine. Voices raising, humbly praising, we are mortal, but ever thine. You will be forever glad that I am now not about to burst into song. But I do have two presentations to make. Eric, I'll let you put that poem down right there on this pulpit, and I'd like you to look at that photograph, and I'd like you to give that to Miss Kathy. It's the photograph we took of the choir the day of our congregational photograph, and we're grateful to Bob Goodyear for taking the photograph and framing it for Kathy. And we also have for you a gift from the congregation upon this, your retirement. And Eric can hold that, and Kathy, you come and talk from that lectern and give us a few words. What do you need? Your wand.
Well, Jim did a really good job of telling my story. Well, I'll fill in a few of the blanks there. One of my favorite scriptures is Ephesians 6:10 and 11. I can do all things through Christ who strengtheneth me. And, you know, I couldn't have done those things. A virtual choir? What's a virtual choir? But I got set up because when I was called to come here, I was playing in another church, and it was comfortable, easy, you know. And I got this call one night from Frances, I think, and she was telling me this position was available. They really needed somebody and wanted to hire somebody that could lead the choir. And I said, well, I don't think I'm interested right now. And she said, but you know our pastor. I said, really? Who is it? She said, Jim Simpson. I said, really? In Blue Ridge? Well, I didn't know he was here, and he didn't know I was up there. So I said, well, how did you find out about me and get my name? She said, well, I think your ex-husband tunes a piano for somebody, maybe Janice or somebody. And so word traveled from the church to my ex-husband and back to the church and then to me to get connected here. And so when she said that, I said, really? Okay, I guess I'm going there. So it was that kind of a journey from there on. And then when this cute guy walked into choir practice one night, I went, maybe that's my purpose. So, and then there was Eric, always there, always ready to help, always with a smile. I had to shush him once in a while. I don't know where my little wand came from, but somebody donated it to the piano, and it was because I could keep control of the back row. My, 7th grade boys back there, they blah, 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 zap. And
one of us your husband.
And one of them, yeah, well. Yeah, he got zapped a lot too. So we had a lot of fun in choir practice. And God's had his hand right in the middle of every bit of it. Even with the virtual choir, it was a total coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. Somebody had been, I think it was Harold maybe, was on YouTube and said, hey, look at this. It's called a virtual choir, and there are all these people singing, but they're obviously at home. And I thought, how'd they do that? Oh, that guy's got headphones on, and the words started flowing in my head of, it probably goes like this, and they probably had to do that. And this was before the pandemic, right before the pandemic. And then when this all hit, I went, virtual choir? Let me see. How can I do a virtual choir for next Sunday? Okay, I'm a soprano. Harold's a tenor. Oh, Bruce is a bass, and Linda is an alto. I have a quartet in 2 homes, and we can sing together. And so, boom, it came together. I couldn't have ever figured out how to do that without a little help from our friend upstairs. So, yeah, he has plans, and he has us in his plans. And what I was thinking was just like his sermon, which is not a coincidence either. The music, sometimes I don't know what he's going to say in his sermon, and he's talking away, and I go, wow, look at what's in my music here, same thing. So his hand's right in the middle of this church, and like he was saying, he's got ideas, he's got plans for this church, for us, all of us in here as a team and working together. And yes, we're humans. You know, we have to work our way through things and figure things out, but he's got the answers. So Ephesians 6, 10, and 11. Let this church be strong in the Lord. Thank you for everything. A wonderful 6 years. Thank you. Love you. Thank you.
Press the button and come. We're going to let Kathy and Harold go out first, and please join them at the reception. On you go. Thank you. That was a great poem. Good job.